I'll have to practice it quite a bit because after a couple of times my foot starts bracing. So it feels like the arch is collapsing, and my body doesn't want that to happen, obviously.
I'm going to have you do it right now. Do it right now, and I'm going to have you let the body collapse. You're going to
Okay,
practice letting your body collapse and see what happens.
okay.
So that you're not, maybe you won't be able to perform and you will fail. What does failure look like? What does collapsing look like? And say out loud when you feel like you're going to collapse and you're going to say, I am collapsing. Let me hear you say it so that you're naming it and it's happening in the moment.
Okay. Okay. I am collapsing. I am collapsing. No, I'm not collapsing on the right side. I'm just going through motions. I am collapsing. I am collapsing. I don't know. It doesn't feel like I am collapsing. It's like if I say it, it doesn't feel so much like collapsing.
So what's happening? What's happening is you just told me a story of what you think is happening and you're believing it, but when you're actually saying it, you're realizing that that's not what's happening.
Okay.
So that's the nature of not actually living in the center of the experience. You're living in the anticipation of the experience and then giving yourself an explanation for why you might be bracing. So that is entirely external to the experience. By narrating out loud, you're putting yourself in the direct experience, not judging or anticipating or fearing. You're just saying what's happening. And then you're like, wait a second, that's not connecting to what's actually happening.
It's sort of the inverse of an affirmation. And
Yes,
interestingly, affirmations have never really worked for
they
me.
don't work. They don't work. And that's one of the things, like, for instance, with a child, right? You don't want to tell them what to do. You just say what's happening, and it helps them build language around what's happening. Otherwise, it's harder for them to think about time and the future. You want to just say what's happening so they could build the language and be present with what's happening, and there's no judgment or analysis, but that they start to use words, just instead of use words about should and will do and what will happen in the future. You just help them be present and learn the language of presence, of what's happening. And that's what you're learning here. You're learning what's happening by starting with narrating something neutral instead of something that you're fearful of, and starting to marry that to what you're feeling in your body and seeing if it matches up. Because a lot of times the stuff that we're saying is habitual in what we believe about ourselves and how we explain what's happening. Because we're often explaining, I mean, we're always explaining what's happening. But if you back up and explain what's happening as it's happening, you can see that it's not synced up. It'd be
Yeah.
interesting for you to also narrate your hike up the hill. You can narrate all sorts of things, but you're not judging it, anticipating. You're just saying what's happening, what you're feeling.
That's key, not judging it.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's really cool. Yeah.
And when you are, for instance, in talk therapy, and you're talking about something, you're talking about the experiences of the memory or even the fears, but you're not in the present moment because there's nothing to do in the present moment, right? And so what you're practicing is articulating what's happening in the present moment. That's
Right.
when we are able to express our needs as they come up, to express our displeasure, to express our fears, but we're able to express instead of trying to package it and polish it up, that we can be spontaneously communicative in a way that can be heard. if it comes from your body authentically, spontaneously, it is much easier to hear. If it's wrapped up in the story and the resentment of, you know, past patterns of perceived aggrievement, right? It comes out as, I need this because you never do this, right? Now it's not a need that is up here. It's all this history. It's all this stuff that you haven't said that comes up, and now they can't hear it because now they're hearing something else, and it's a bunch of information all at once, and it's hard to
Yeah.
see and it's hard to feel. But when something comes out and it has this organic resonance to it, people can feel it.
You know, if I hadn't just had that experience today, you could talk about it till the cows come home. I'd never understand it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the more you have these sorts of experiences, you realize how little you understand about someone else's experience. And so the effort all the time is to communicate to each other and understand each other and have this experience that touches us on a deep level. And that level, the commonality we have is the human body.
Yeah.
It's a real connector, and it gives you a lot of, when you are able to shift the perception within yourself, you're able to feel that self perception as a proxy to someone else's experience. And, you know, some experiences are impossible to understand, but you can vibe with them on a similar level when you're in the just the phenomenal aspects of it.